That's what I thought you said. Now let me offer this as a rebuttal.
What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be sharing with you my predictions for the 2018 XXL freshman list. Now, keep in mind this list is picked in the spring, so my predictions may be far from accurate. But either way, if you agree with it, make sure you hit that like button. Let's try to get to 100 likes. Alright, here we go. So how I've made this list is I've grouped together a few mini categories, and I'll be presenting each one to you. Let's start with our first one, Safe Picks. Now these are rappers who I think have a for sure or very high chance of making it on the list. Rappers in this category include Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, and Trippie Redd. Why I feel so sure about Lil Pump and Smoke Perp is they both had huge singles blow up last spring that could have granted them a spot on last year's list. However, this fall both of them had solo projects that were on the billboards and had tons and tons of features from big name artists. Aside from being one of the only features on XXXTentacion's album, Trippie Redd has proven he deserves a spot on the list by constantly being on the SoundCloud Top 40 and working with some big name artists. So I think this qualifies all three of these artists definite spots on next year's list. My next category, Adequate Picks. Now in this category I have two rappers, YBN Namir and Ski Mask the Slump God. Two rappers who have been on the SoundCloud Top 40 for the past few weeks. YBN Namir is only 17 years old and he's at the number 3 spot. So I definitely think he has potential, but maybe not a for sure spot on the list. Ski Mask the Slump God has two hot singles right now, as well as having worked with XXX, I think he definitely has potential to reach the list. My next category, OK Picks. Now in this category I have three rappers. We have Youngboy, TK, and Lil Xan. All three are on the SoundCloud charts, but I'm thinking that if we want to see them on the list next year, we're going to have to see bigger songs and more singles from them in the next year. Maybe even a full-length project. Right now, TK, I believe, is currently in jail, so that might put a damper on it if he is chosen. However, I do see Lil Xan or even Youngboy getting enough attention to put them on the list. Definitely Lil Xan has the image. My next category, rappers who should have been on last year's list. Now if you were one of the people who was frustrated from the 2017 list, I feel for you. They left out some huge names, and even though they could have had a spot on last year's list, these are three rappers who I think really could be on this year's list, as long as they don't curve XXL for leaving him off last year. But anyway, we have Famous Dex, Rich the Kid, and T Grizzly. Now, like I said, if they decide to curve XXL for leaving him off last year, that's one thing, but I feel like if they decide to appear on the cover, it could do so much to help their careers. So, we'll see what happens. Potential rappers who might decline. Now, as you probably know, people have declined being on this list before because they feel like they're above it and they're no longer a freshman. They've started their own careers. And I think there's two potential people this year who could be asked and then decline. One of those people is Nav. He dropped his project this summer with Metro Boomin, Perfect Timing, and has been getting a lot of attention for that. This last week he dropped a single with Uzi, so definitely on the come up, but he's already signed with The Weeknd, and he could just decline it straight up. Another big candidate for this category is Cardi B. I think she's had a really great career so far. 3 chart-topping songs in this last week, and she's showing no signs of stopping, so I really think she could decline it, but I feel like if she was asked, she might say yes. My next category, the 3 potentials from 88 Rising. So if you haven't heard of 88 Rising, they only sign Asian artists, and there's 3 considerably big names signed to them right now. There's Keith Ape, Rich Chiga, and Joji. And all 3 of them have been on the come up in the last year, maybe not so much Keith Ape, but all 3 of them have the potential to make it on this list, especially Joji, considering he already has a huge following. And my last category, people who I hope do not get on the list. Now for this one I just have one person, and that is 6ix9ine. Now it's nothing against his music. I think Gummo's actually a pretty catchy song. He does alright on the song Poles with Trippie Redd, but I think there's too much drama around him. He's a terrible influence. Honestly, in this case, I think he's too much biting off of XXXTentacion. In the middle of editing, I realized I had an additional candidate for this category. Bad Baby, she goes by. The Catch Me Outside girl for the layman. Honestly, I just think her career is very forced. don't really consider her a rapper, so if they did decide to put her on there, I would opt against it, but who knows. On that uplifting note, I think it's time to end the video. So thanks for watching. What do you think about my picks? Who do you think's gonna make it on the list? Who did I leave out? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get this thing to 100 likes. I know we can do it. You guys are the best. Make sure you hit subscribe if you aren't already. See you next time. And if I missed anything in the video, it was intentional, because this is Adequately Explained. See you next time.